The free kick, Ewan Murray, the Guardian's Scottish football correspondent, says, I expect little to be said about the fact Foden blatantly dived for that free kick. And it was a good free kick, Troy. But I do wonder if it's almost like Danny Ward made himself small, sort of the reverse Schmeichel for that free kick.
I actually agree.
So it's really tickled me.
I agree. I didn't think it was a foul. I didn't think it was a foul. So I thought they got lucky, but Rashford just put it in the right area. And Ward, he hasn't covered himself in any glory tonight, as it's definitely not his recent Leicester City performances, and probably when Wales needed him most, coming in for Hennessy. It'd be different if he'd come in for Henderson, I'm sure. Hennessy, then, like everybody else on the field of play for Wales, he just wasn't up to it. But a great strike from Marcus, and I think that's where his confidence came from in the second half, because he was just on the edge of the game for most of it in the first half, apart from that opportunity. But then his eyes brightened up, and, he shut the ball down for Ben Davies for the second goal for Harry Kane, and then obviously got the third as well. So, he'll come off with all the plaudits, although for me, Bellingham still is the standout player in that England team, and I thought it was a standout player tonight as well. England's
third goal was the 100th goal scored by the England team at the World Cup. Here's Barry and Elis to count them down from 100 to 1. That ball from Kane, Barry, was pretty special, wasn't it? I mean, maybe I'm giving him too much credit. I don't know. But it was eye of the needle stuff to Phil Foden.
It was eye of the needle stuff, but he didn't actually look where he was crossing it. So that there may have been an element of luck to the precision of the pass, but he knew there would be someone there to convert it, and he was bang on. I thought the ball from Calvin Phillips into space behind the defence for Kane to chase was excellent as well, and I was sort of pleased to see him back, because I really rate Calvin as a player.
I don't know, Elis, how much you want to talk about how good England were, or objectively. It's hard when you're watching. I find when I'm watching England, I don't really notice the opposition players. I'm trying to be objective, but they're just kind of extras. Do you know what I mean?
Same. And also, what I noticed, this always happens in British derbies. No sports fans on earth take the piss like British sports fans. So I could just hear England fans singing, going home in the morning, Wales get battered everywhere they go, etc., etc. I just thought, if this was the Senegalese or the Dutch, we wouldn't be having any of this.
They'd be Senegal get battered everywhere they go. It's not going to be sung, is it?
We wouldn't be having this. And if they were taking the piss, I wouldn't understand it anyway. There's something particularly galling about being having the piss taken out of you in language you do understand. I just think, England, when they click, are a really, really good side. And I've never been able to understand why they don't click all of the time. Obviously, it's obvious, isn't it? But I mean, it was always going to be tough. I think for this group of players, the 2018 World Cup is the one that got away. How old would Ramsey have been then? 2018, he'd have been sort of 29. Ramsey would have been 27.
So what, Bale would have been 29 and Ramsey?
Yeah, sorry, Bale would have been 29, Ramsey would have been 27. 2014, obviously, but the team was still recovering from the tragic death of Gary Speed. So that World Cup qualification campaign was never going to get anywhere because of what the players were going through. So I feel slightly sorry for, especially our senior players. It's a sort of tournament too late, I think. I don't know how far England can go. I think they're a really, really good team. But again, I'm so despondent. I can't be objective. I'm trying to imagine what I'd be doing if I was in Doha now. I'd probably be walking into a kebab shop and ordering a cup of tea because it's so hard to get a drink out there.
Raoul says, question for Barry, which would you rather? Ireland qualified for the World Cup in place of Wales and turned in 3 limp performances, topped off with a beating by England, or no qualification and no exposure to this sad reality?
No, I'd rather be there.
Oh,
definitely.
yeah, always be there. I hated USA 94 because we came so close to qualification. I resented 98 because we were nowhere near it. 2002, the same. 2006. I mean, there have been sort of 3 World Cups in my lifetime. Well, not quite in my lifetime. I don't remember the campaign for 86. We came close to that one. But certainly in the time I've been watching, there's been 3 that we've come close to qualifying for. One we managed it, and the other 2 we sort of failed at the final hurdle. You always want to be there. I would always prefer to lose 3 group games and go home. Ask Scotland fans. They just want to be there, and it's not a small nation mentality. I think that's being realistic.
Bob says, no question, but could you please spend just a few minutes talking about that Harry Maguire run and cross?
That was a shot, surely.
No, I think it was a cross. I'm not sure.
He hit it very hard.
That is a shot.
That was a shot.
You know when Dennis the Menace would put caps on his dad's golf clubs and the ball would fly much further than he was intending? So it's one for the kids, that, isn't it? But I think it was the cross. You all think it was a shot? I think it was a cross.
Absolutely, that was a shot.
I don't think it was. I think he was trying to dink it to the far stick, and he just doesn't know how strong his legs are. Is what I think.